De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. Ese lunar que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegra, cielito lindo, los corazones.
Hola, bienvenidos. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Escena. My name is Jasmine Morelos, and we're here with ChikaDi. Welcome.
Thank you for having me tonight.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here with you and your audience and excited to share a little bit of my work.
So, Chica, you were born in Colombia and you're Bay Area based. You've been doing music for over a couple of decades. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Colombia and then I came when I was 19, and I came after doing a music program at the university. I went to two different college music. One was based on performance. The other was more very academic seminar, um, a conservatorium, which is like my focus was vocals and how to train my vocals and how to teach vocals. But I used to teach for a very small time, a small period of time, and then I just focused on performing and writing. Came to the Bay Area, starting performing with salsa bands, and that was uh, the best way to get to know like some of the most amazing musicians in the Bay Area. And then after that, I I made an audition for a band that I had no idea what kind of music was going to be. I was like a little worried. They were looking for like a Colombian voice, and then I got the invitation and I went, but I never thought it was going to be cumbia, which is like, what are the chances that you're coming from another country, Colombia, and and you think that in order for you to be able to be successful in music, you probably have to sing in English or have to sing any other genre, and they happen to be a cumbia band, La Mesa Negra.
Yo me voy para Porce, ay, te invito en mi guagua. Llevo la pollera bien plancha, se mueve como agua. Mi cadera y a danzar, échele ojo a la balsa, que la carretera es tan pedral, tropieza la guagua.
And we had a pretty good ride for 10 years, tour all over US, and and we were very successful. We were able to sold out shows at the New Parish, at the Independent, and touring with the Levitt Pavilion. That was an amazing experience for me. And then COVID happened.
Mm.
I was kind of like also thinking about a transition, and then COVID just made it easier. I couldn't see myself without music. I remember being back then I used to live in a very tiny house, and and I remember just being there, just feeling that if I was not going to be able to perform or to do music, I was going to be depressed. And I just, like I always do, I just sabotage myself. I say, no, you know what? Let's take advantage of this time. Let's write more music. And right a little before COVID, I met my current husband, and that's how we got together. We met working with music, and I was working with two different producers. Max Perry was the first producer who believed in me and invited me. We had a session in the studio, and in the very first single song, Bailala, end up in Euphoria. Is like back then I didn't know what Euphoria was,
Yeah,
what type
really
of
big
show. I
deal.
was like, I'm just happy because the funds that the synchronization provided for me, I was just looking at it like, oh my God, now I can record the whole album. So I was just excited just because that gave me the feel to continue my journey, especially COVID time,
But
which it was
let's
like,
let's dig a little bit deeper on that part though, because that's a really big deal. Like especially coming out of COVID and then making a transition from a band where you're in 10 year for 10 years to this like huge leap of being in this really really famous show. Like how did that happen?
I always submit every time a friend, a colleague sent me like, oh, I love the song. You know, this time I have a friend from the recording academy. We met back in the days, and he's like, I really love the song. So I send my songs even before they go out in public. I send them to my friends, like my industry colleagues, the people that know my journey for the very beginning. And I always just send it and just tell them like, what do you think? Like, do you like it? I mean, I do music because I love it, and I don't ask for permission to do it or the type of style that I want to do, but I do want to feel a feedback of how does it feel for you, right?
Hmm.
Like, does it feel the same energy that I put into it? Do you resonate with it? And for me, that's important because uh, part of me doing what I do is that I help myself first, and then I hope to help whoever listens to make
Yeah.
that person happy and to have a higher vibration. I love that, and so then I submitted the song. I sent it to my friends, and one of them is like, I have a request for a show, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, like send it. And he sent it. I forgot about it. In a few, it was a few weeks, a few, probably like a month. Then he sent me a message, and I was like, oh, the song got picked. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And he's like, dude, the song got picked, and we were competing with Becky G. We were competing with, a bunch of big, huge Latin artists, Cardi B,
Yeah.
and they picked the song, and I was like, what? This is like mind blowing. I couldn't believe it. I just because of that, I was like, wow, this is like a sign from the universe that I should continue my journey regardless.
Muévete más, mueve todo tu cuerpo sin parar. Muévete más.
It's just a feeling of like you still can make music and you still can be supported by your music is
Yeah.
amazing. And so then later on, uh, I was excited. I told my kids, the teenagers, I told them, I say, oh, guess what? I have a song in Euphoria. Let's watch the episode. And then my daughters just flip. And I was like, really? It's like, is it such a big deal? Like, and she was like, yes, mom, what are you talking about? Sandaya's there. And I was like, okay. So now I'm like feeling even more proud of myself because, like when you have kids, it's like you want to make them proud no matter what. You want to serve as a sample. And that was like just a reaffirmation of like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And now, you know, she's into music because she has seen my journey, but it's just such a beautiful moment. I think
Yeah.
I really love that, and it make us bound even more. We watched the series together, and it was just a beautiful moment.
Chica, you had an amazing journey over the last 5 years, since that moment, where you decided to go solo to now, not only Euphoria, but there's been other shows. And then as well, you were the artist feature for McDonald's and Latino Heritage Month in 2024. And then most recently, do you want to talk about this latest project that's coming up during the World Cup?
Yeah, yeah. Just it's the universe also rewarding me for the time that I spend doing music and it I don't do it because of the money. I don't do it because I want a bunch of synchronizations. I do it because I love to do music and music is my life and music saved my life. And and so then f- just getting those things coming and invitation like the McDonald's, I couldn't believe it. And then we have to they fly out to Texas and we did a mini tour and we were just there. I just couldn't believe because um a lot of other artists that are well known just did a campaign with McDonald's and like for me I was just so grateful that I got the chance, the opportunity. Later on, there were people, just sending nasty messages like
Mm.
because it's McDonald's and I say, but at the end is as an independent artist, for me what matters is that again allows me to continue to do more. So
But also think about the impact of representation, like the fact that your kids, my kids, can see a brown person thriving and like on the stage or on the pantalla on the screen, like that's amazing. So I do understand the feedback and like the maybe how some people might feel uncomfortable, but we need to step outside of that or beyond that, and then also see at the good things. So I
yeah.
would much rather see your face and like seeing somebody that looks like us representing our comunidad, than not.
Yes, and also that they pick a cumbia song. So that was huge for me. They told me send us a few songs from the album, and I sent a few songs, and I first thought, oh, they're probably gonna pick something that's more electro pop, something that might be more, I don't know, yeah, more pop, more American influence. And then no, they were like, we want this cumbia, it's perfect, ooh la la. So then I was like even more motivated, even more excited,
Hmm.
just to be there and to represent not just our Latin heritage, but also a woman,
Hmm.
also a mother who is
Hmm.
thriving regardless. Also, like killing that myth of that if you are a woman you can't do it, if you're a mother you're done, you should be taking care of your kids, and if you're Latina you should not be in a campaign that's national TV of US. So
Hmm.
all of
Hmm.
those things were like, that is was the thing that made me more proud, and just the, that feeling, that and feeling that for all the young girls
Yeah.
who are thinking, like, I can also do that, right? So feeling as a just serving as a sample is what make me do more. And
Yeah.
because at the end of the day it doesn't matter nowadays. We live in an age where, in an era that's amazing, because it doesn't matter what age, what group, if you have a family or not. As an independent artist you still can make your dreams come true.
And now the World Cup, right?
And now the workout.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a friend who is a Telemundo producer, who I didn't talk with him for a long time, and one day he sent me a text. Hey, can I give you a call? Yeah, of course. And he said, I just keep seeing you on my first of all, congratulations for all the accomplishments, for all the things, like you're unstoppable. And then I just keep seeing you on my Facebook feed, like you're always just present and ongoing and doing things. And I have a project that I want to present to you, and let me know what you think. And so he was telling me this is gonna be the antesala for the la pasión para el fútbol. They were getting ready for the World Cup, and so then he say, "What do you think if I mean if you do a song?" First, he was like, "I know I can use the original song, but I thought that you will probably do something cool, something like different." And he told me it's gonna be a local campaign, and you know, the whole idea is to show music from the Bay, to show the scenery from Oakland, and just little glimpses of like the culture that we have here, which we're so blessed to have uh, a lot of everything. And so then he was like, yeah, maybe you can even invite other artists. And then I like, no brain, no, you know, I was like, I have two artists that I would love to do this with. And so then I thought, I say Gina Madrid and Deuce Eclipse, and because we've been jamming for years, they have the same passion, and we share the same lifestyle. And so,
And they're great people
and
too.
they're amazing human
Mm-hmm.
beings,
Mm-hmm.
which for me, that counts more than anything else. I like to be surrounded by amazing people and hardworking people.
Yes.
So for me, I told him, and he was like, I think that's great. I think that's perfect. I say, okay, well, let me work on it. And so we started working on it. We didn't know how it was going to be. I show a Good Bear, Mikey, my producer. I show him, I say, this is the original song, and there is like hundreds of uh, different versions of it, and we look every single one of the versions. And I told him, I don't want to do the same thing. Like, I have never been um, I don't like to do covers because I'm a songwriter. So for me, I don't have the need to do covers. And I've been told before, like, oh, you should do a cover of these, you should do a cover of these. It will be good because people already know the song, so it'll be easier. I don't like easy things in life. I think that shortcuts are not the way.
Yeah.
So a cover for me back then, it was like, no. But this time was different because it was a challenge. He told me, make it your own. I'm not going to tell you what to do, just make it your own. And so for me, it was like, okay, it's a song that's going to be the antesala for the World Cup, and it's some energy. So then immediately I thought about Guaro, all the hyper songs. I thought about Bailala. I thought about like what that portion of my catalog that's hyper and clubby and loud and with a big sound. And so I remember just being here in the studio and experimenting with like just the tempo of it, and I was started singing the song, you know, de la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo vienen bajando, and then he started like making the beat, and then I started adapting my vocals to the beat, and then we were like, oh, this is it, it's working, like it's amazing, let's continue. And so then we did that part, and then when we got all the parts on my end, then and then I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna invite Deuce and Gina to do a rapping part. And then I kind of fill them in, you know, give them a call, hey, are you guys down? Like, this is a very nice project. I'm just so happy to have you guys. Like, if you guys are down to do it, like, let me know. Come by next week. Let's record. And everything was so quick and productive, and I loved it. And so we got the song in like 2 weeks, and then we started putting more production, then mixing, then we sent it to master. And when the song came back, it was incredible. So we were like, it just gave me chills. It gave me chills. I was like, whoa, I can't believe we puzzled it all together in such a nice way. And then the next step was like send it back to Telemundo to see if they like it. So I just thought like I'm just gonna put it out anyway because I love it. I love it. It's such an iconic song. and it's a song that deserves to be present in every generation. Is like, it for me. I was like, I just want to make it my own, and so we sent it, and they loved it, So then there it is. It's coming up, and I'm just so excited. I'm so happy. Um,
I actually got to experience that song when you opened up for Los Aterciopelados.
oh
That was
yeah,
a really beautiful
it
song.
was beautiful. Just like there is times when I feel a little bit of like cautious because mentally I'm like the majority of the people that night were Mexicans. So then it's like, oh, how are they gonna take it?
Although it was a Colombian show, though.
It was a Colombian show, yeah, but the audience were probably 80% Mexicans, and and then when I started singing and just like just hearing the response and everybody and the collective vibration of like everybody just feeling it, and it was just beautiful. And at the end I had like a bunch of people just coming and saying, wow, that version is different and we like it. So for me that's like the biggest payback is it's just having such a feedback from the Mexican people, because it's their song, is their roots. And I always want to be very respectful of like roots from culture. And but yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I now I close the shows with that song.
Oh,
Mi
that's really
cielito lindo.
powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very powerful. Diana, I love chatting with you. You have such a beautiful energy, and want to I don't want to overstate how important it is, the words that you mentioned earlier about being a mom and not letting go of your dreams. And I feel that recently I've met a lot of amazing, powerful women like yourself, like Gina, um, uh, and many other local artists. They're pushing through, and not just pushing through, but really opening the doors for themselves and for so many different artists. So they're not just making music; they're really at the forefront of movements and creative movements. So to me, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like, I also know that I let go of my dreams for a while, and then recently took back on doing photography and doing um, interviews, being back on the radio. And it's so different being from that lens, of saying like, no, I want to be an example for my children and I want them to see what they're capable of doing. So I love that for you, every single aspect of it, the story about watching the show with your daughter and creating that bond. What do you have to say for the future generations that are listening to you?
To always believe in themselves, to never stop believing, to don't pay attention to the noise, to don't pay attention to anybody that is trying to make an opinion about them. I think it's very important that if you find your dream, if you find your identity through whatever that is, music, photography, is that stay true to yourself. Block all the other stuff, which is people might not say. Is like, just not, don't be rude, but also don't let that get into you, because we all have our own personal journey in life. And so don't stop. Don't stop. I think this is, when you find your purpose in life, and you find that thing that you're good at because you do it with love and passion, don't let nobody stop you. Don't let any situation stop you. I think a family for me is very, very important. And I always battle with timing, time with the family, time with my husband, time with music. But music for me is the like the pillar of everything I do, because it gives me sanity, it makes me happy, and if I'm happy, then I can be a better mom, I can be a better wife, I can be the best the the best version of myself. So I encourage anybody, any woman, any young artist, you can do it all. That it is there are things you need to manage, and you gotta learn how to ride the wave with time. But nothing is impossible. I think when you have a vision, you can manifest. Anything can happen, and eventually it happens because you're doing everything with love. So it's just keep believing in yourself and keep doing it, and then things will come from unexpected ways.
Nice, that mic drop. There's nothing really else that I can add to that. Diana, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having us in your home, your beautiful home, and really for your wisdom and your music. Please continue doing what you're doing. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the news on your feed around the World Cup and your future endeavors.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm super happy to be here with you. Thank you for opening this space of just sharing the story for other women, because I think that's my biggest mission, is to inspire a lot of other women out there.
Gracias.
No, a ti.